Good morning, Blackshear. It's Allie Pigler with the Blackshear Times, and I hope that you're having a beautiful start to your day. First off, I would like to say a big thank you to Allison and Giles for sitting down with me this morning to talk about the future of the Old Marion Hotel and to share a little more about the story behind the demolition. I really appreciated their time and their heart for our community, so let's see what they had to share. Good morning, Blackshear. I'm Allie Pigler, and it is Tuesday, November the 4th, and I have the pleasure of sitting down with a local Blackshear couple, and they're going to share a little bit of good news with you guys about what they're doing to better Blackshear. If y'all don't mind introducing yourself for me.
I'm Allison.
And I'm Giles.
So tell me a little bit about this project that we saw on the Blackshear Times Facebook page last week.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's interesting really because, you know, my wife and I, we've lived in Blackshear, 7 years now? Probably close to 7 years. And we love to ride around on our golf cart like a lot of couples do. And we've always been obsessed with the big old, hotel building that was there. And we'd always ride past it and think, wow, this is such a cool building. But looking at it, it had a huge pile of trash outside it. It was kind of pretty disgusting. It had some very unsavory people around it. But we always thought, wow, this could be so much better. And, one day, okay, Peps, you want to be on the film? And one day, Alison, she called me and said, Giles, you'll never guess what? It's for sale. And I said, I knew immediately what she was talking about. I said, it's the old hotel. I said, oh my God, amazing. I said, we have to do it. We have to get it. And, cut a long story short,
we had 10 minutes before they closed, the real estate company.
Yeah, and Alison, she actually knew the woman, and the woman knew Alison, and in the end there was a lot of developers that wanted to get it, and the woman did one of my favorite quotes. She said, I want to sell it to the local girl, which I thought was very sweet. Yeah, so we got the old hotel with the plans to restore it, right? Because I love old buildings. I've been brought up, my father, restored old buildings for a living in England, and it's a passion of mine. And we held on to it for a few years. We cleaned up all the trash, right? Which you were instrumental because Alison was in control of the Hopper company at the time. How much was that?
It was $20 shy of $15,000.
To clean up the huge pile of trash.
And it went from like the outside of the house to almost the other side of the road. You couldn't see how much trash because of the growth, but it was like 6 feet tall. I mean, it was insane. Yeah. I mean, insane.
If you've ever been up to the dump and that smell, that's what it smelled like there. It was absolutely disgusting. It had, like I said, some very unsavory people like living there at the time. So when we got it, we were like, let's clean it out. We cleaned out the whole house as well, top to bottom, which was filled with trash. Like I can show you some of the videos.
Jugs of feces, jugs of urine. It was horrendous.
Yeah.
It was horrendous.
So even just in your thoughts of, adding a little bit of beautification to that area of Blackshear, but I mean, you were adding beautification to the fact that it wasn't harboring a place for people to live and just create an even more unsavory environment. So even just that aspect of you cleaning out the building and establishing, hey, someone now owns this, you were adding to that as well.
Yeah, it was like a city dump for years.
Yeah, it was like a health hazard. I mean, it's wild to think Blackshear is such a beautiful town. Like, we love it. To think that there was the equivalent, of an open trash dump opposite the park in the middle of town was bizarre to us. Every time we rode past on our golf cart, we're like, what is this? Like, how can this be? So when we got it, we cleaned it up straight away, and then we just kind of sat on it for a few years because we were like, right, what are we going to do? Needed to save up some money after clearing it up, right? And the plan was genuinely to restore it. We wanted to restore it to something beautiful, maybe some apartments, something like that. We got multiple quotes, multiple pieces of advice, and everything was like, it cannot be done. And I think that the whole thing is, as much as I love old buildings and restoring old buildings, when something is too far gone, that we have a saying in England, it's like polishing a turd.
Yeah, we have that
here. It's like you can't, the amount of money would have been hundreds of thousands of dollars to try and get it to a place where it was livable. But then when it was livable, I don't think it would ever have passed code. you know, and code is important. If you want to rent or get a CO for something, which is a, you know, a certificate of occupancy, I don't think it would ever have happened.
Like everything was stripped from the walls, every wire. It was bad. It was bad. I mean, we tried to our best to find a way that we could make it work, because we wanted it to work so bad. But from the stairs to the upstairs, the floor, I mean, it just wasn't. It was not feasible.
So basically, it was pretty much condemned.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was. As
I'm
bad as we
surprised
didn't
the
want
city
to.
didn't condemn it, to be honest with you.
It was bad. It was really. It was.
I don't
it
think
was
anyone.
more of a hazard.
I don't think anyone wanted responsibility to condemn the building, so we had to take the hit.
Yeah, obviously. So, I mean, you know, and you think about it, what was over there, and I know a lot of people has made comments about what's going to the park, but I'm like, that was across from the park where your kids play, you know, drugs, the trash. I mean, it's pretty scary, you know. I mean, kids were like, oh, is that place haunted? So it needed to go. I know that we have gotten backlash about us cleaning it up and things flying, but it was more of a hazard being there than what we're doing now, because I mean there was tin, glass, it was bad.
Yeah, it was falling apart. I mean, the roof was about to fall in. Even the city did contact us and say the roof is about to like fly off and hit someone in the head.
Yeah,
So
like we're thinking one day,
yeah.
anytime we're gonna get a call and be like, "Hey, a piece of tin fell off and like cut somebody." Because I mean, it was
And I think we have to be clear. We did our full due diligence before pulling it down. I got, you know, as much as everyone likes to say, we got the correct permits. We got the burn permits. We were allowed to burn green waste in the city. It's very controlled. The fire department have to come by in the morning. They have to check the weather. You know, it's very monitored. We're not allowed to burn any of the house timber whatsoever, and we had to be very strict about that, because they can show up at any point. you know, and check.
We have not burnt.
No,
any of the house.
we have
Like,
done it all.
Yes,
yeah.
everything.
And again, it's supporting local business. We've used the local hopper company and local trade crews, you know, to move it. Yeah, just what we did over the weekend was into the thousands of dollars to kind of continue the cleanup.
So not only are you working to make the area more beautiful, but you are giving back to the community by allowing people to work and help you create and foster that environment. So I think that is pretty admirable as well. You know, you mentioning using local businesses, and that's important because very seldom, honestly, do people seek out local people. If they can find someone that'll quote them a lower rate, it doesn't matter if they're in Applin County, Ware County, or if they're coming from the Atlanta area, they're going to use them.
Right.
So I think that's very admirable, and I give props to you guys for doing that.
Thank you.
Yeah, and when it's finally cleaned, then we can kind of make some decisions about how we're going to do it. But even any architects I've spoken to, the first thing I tell them, I said, it has to look right. It has to look, I mean, to make something look absolutely beautiful, you again, it's business. You have to be careful about how much you're spending. But I was very clear with our architect for some different options we're looking at. I said, it has to look really nice. And his comment back to me was, trust me, Giles, it's going to look nice. And I said,
We want
okay,
it to
good.
flow. Whatever we do, we want it to flow with like that part of Blackshear, like the old part. You know, we just want it to.
It's a rough looking road all the way up, you know, pretty much is the odd nice thing, you know. So, you know, we're making a stand. It hurts me because whatever we do there is going to increase the value of all the rough houses that are around it. But hey, someone's got to start. And I think this is a good start.
Absolutely. So can y'all give the people of Blackshear any idea of what y'all have planned?
Definitely. Do you know what I think? Well, there's a few things that I feel that the town needs. I think it needs some, I wouldn't say apartments because it's not like apartments, but some smaller properties. Because I think of friends of ours that live in town and they have their kids that now have businesses in town. I think about, look, they're ready to move out, but they don't want to go and buy a house somewhere and a piece of land. They don't want to worry about that. You know what I mean? Maybe someone like yourself, you're very well to do, very well put together. You have your own business, and you might be looking, right, I'm ready to move out of home, but I don't like the look of some of these places where the smaller properties are. It's not so nice. So can you imagine having a really beautiful like little apartment or duplex like right in the center of town that you could walk to everything, you don't have to worry about a yard, you know, that is done beautifully and it's new, and you would be the perfect person that we'd like to kind of live there, you know.
And it sounds like the properties in Athens where I went to college,
Right.
there were so many places to choose from, and it was very similar to what you're describing. And it turned into people fighting tooth and nail, camping out outside of the
to get the
realty,
places.
to get them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like that's something that could turn into something like that, especially being that there's none other being offered right now.
Exactly.
So,
and we are passionate about commercial business as well. So there, again, is a little hint. We might be looking at something commercial on one part of it. It's 4 lots that are kind of joined together that we've kind of cleaned up. So that would be nice as well. Some business that maybe the town needs. But again, we'll take advice and do the right thing there.
absolutely. Well, I'm super excited. I hope that all of you that are watching and listening here in Pierce County are super excited about what they have to bring and have a little bit more understanding of why the building was torn down to begin with and all of the hard work that they have put into potentially making this something great. So I appreciate y'all sitting down with me this morning, and I look forward to watching each part of the process and cheering you guys on.
Thank you so much.
And
Here
no
we-
Dollar General. We promise we're not putting a Dollar General.
no vape store.
Yeah.
All right. So y'all heard it here first, and y'all can watch as things are developing right there in the heart of Blackshear, and y'all can help me cheer them on as well.
Woo.
Let's talk local news. As always, our local news is brought to you by the Blackshear Times. And don't forget, if something catches your attention today, you can always grab a print copy to dive deeper into these stories. There's so much going on right here in Pierce County. Happy Election Day, Pierce County. It's that time again. Make sure you take a few minutes today to get out and vote. Folks in Patterson and Blackshear have local elections on the ballot. Countywide, we've got the Education Special Local Option Sales Tax, or eSPLOST, up for renewal. And across the state, voters are choosing members of the Public Service Commission. Polls are open until 7 p.m. tonight, so don't miss your chance to make your voice heard. In Halloween fun and community happenings, Hometown Halloween was a blast. So many great costumes and smiling faces downtown. I loved seeing all of the creativity. Flip to the front page and page 13 of this week's paper for a full photo spread and event recap. Also, a huge congratulations to Hello Beautiful Salon and Spa. They recently celebrated their grand opening and ribbon cutting as the newest members of the Pierce County Chamber of Commerce. And last week, Blake James, our former public safety director, joined the Rotary Club as a guest speaker. Always good to see familiar faces doing great work within our community. Mark your calendars for Blackshear Community Cleanup Day. It's coming up on Saturday, November 8th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Dumpsters will be set up on Memory Street between Public Works and the Eggplant. Big thanks to the City of Blackshear and Ryland Services for sponsoring this. And on the Head Start update, on a more serious note, our local Head Start centers are facing temporary closures right now due to the federal government shutdown. Because their grant renewal failed during this time, funding access is delayed, and that's affecting nearly 6,000 Georgia children, including many right here at home. It's a tough situation for working families who rely on this care, so if you know someone impacted, please check in and see if there's any way that you can lend a hand. And in our local shout-outs, let's give a big congratulations to Pierce County High School senior JC Nimmer, who was named the Exchange Club Student of the Month for September. JC was recognized for his leadership, character, and academic success. Way to go, JC. In county news, the Pierce County Commission is holding a few public hearings this week and next to talk about a proposed 1.872 mil property tax increase. Meetings will be held tomorrow, November 5th at 8 a.m. and again at 6 p.m. and November 13th at 6 p.m. If you'd like to share your thoughts, make plans to attend one of these sessions. Next up, Better Hometown Blackshear and the Blackshear Rotary Club invite you to their Veterans Day celebration on November 11th at 11 a.m. at the Blackshear Train Depot. The guest speaker will be Trelissa Culp, a 10-year U.S. Navy veteran. Take a few extra minutes that day to also thank your veterans. It means a lot more than you'll ever know. More upcoming events: Waycross Aglow Lighthouse is hosting their next meeting Saturday, November 8th, and everyone is welcome. Hospice Satilla's Silver Bowl Gala is back for its 13th year, happening on November 13th from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Banner here in Blackshear. Come as you are, whether you're dressed to the nines or just coming straight from work. And don't forget, the Pecan Festival of Georgia is November 8th from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m., hosted by the Exchange Club, and it's an event you don't want to miss. There are just 2 days left to get your orders in for the Pierce County 4-H Fall Fundraiser. They are offering boxes of fresh local produce, and orders close November 7th, and deliveries will go out the week of November 17th. In county projects, commissioners are also set to vote on a resolution to support a new perimeter road around Waycross. You can read all the details on page 12 of this week's paper. It's sports time, so now let's talk Bear Nation. Our Pierce County Bears fell short to Appling County last Friday, but don't count them out just yet. They're headed to the first round of the state playoffs right here at home at 7:30 on November 14th against Ringgold. The Lady Bears softball team made a strong run to the Elite Eight before their season wrapped up in Columbus last Friday, and this was their first appearance since 2022. Our cross-country team qualified for state, and competition cheer took first place at both the Cotton Cheer Classic and the Rumble in the Jungle. You girls are killing it. At Pierce County Middle School, competition cheer kicked off their season with 1 win and 1 runner-up finish, and the swim team competed in a meet hosted by Tift County Middle. And big congratulations to our Gibson McDonald Players of the Week. Peyton Aduro, Spirit Cheer, Javion Williams, Football, Susanna Karen, Competition Cheer, Mila Martinez, Girls Cross Country, and Jackson Williams, Boys Cross Country. Don't forget to celebrate your baby's first Christmas. Calling all new parents, the Blackshear Times is putting together our annual Baby's First Christmas feature. If you'd like your little one to be included, check out page 9 for all the details. Be a part of this right here, Good Morning Blackshear. Don't forget, you can be the highlight of the show. If you'd like to sponsor the opening or closing segment, reach out to us. And if you've got any good news to share, maybe an event, fundraiser, or you want to recognize someone doing something awesome within the community, email me at pcgoodnews.tbt@gmail.com. I'd love to share it right here on the show. Also in this week's paper, you've got Pierce County 911 Advisory Committee highlights, the Satilla Democrats No Kings rally, local job openings, items for sale, the PES Honor Roll, Brantley County Maintenance Shop Auction happening November 8th at 9 a.m., plus opinion pieces, Birdie's Corner, the Sheriff's Report, and public notices. In Faith and Fellowship, Master Builders Church celebrates 24 years on November 5th and 7th at 7 p.m. Comfort Chapel Primitive Baptist holds services November 7th through 9th. Ward Memorial invites everyone to their homecoming service November 9th at 11 a.m. And around the county, Southern Quality Propane held their ribbon cutting on October 21st. County Manager Raphael Maddox announced plans for a new 911 center coming in 2026. And members of Waycross High School class of 1958 gathered recently for fellowship and to honor their classmate Beth Heron McClelland. And for our final note, last week's Pierce County's Commissioners meeting ran about 2 hours, and there was plenty of input from local citizens. Check out the front page for a full summary. And that wraps up this week's episode of Good Morning Blackshear. Thank you all so much for spending part of your day with me. I hope your day is full of kindness, connections, and just a little bit of sunshine. Have a fabulous week, Pierce County. Allie Pigler, the Blackshear Times.